Hey, what's up, everyone? Give me a minute. Y'all know how it goes. I got to make sure all the streaming platforms are working. So let me click on a few buttons, see what's going on. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. Instagram, we out there. Yep, Instagram, we good. Facebook, can't tell right now. It's a little laggy, but it is what it is. Welcome, y'all. As you see, we got some special guests here. We're going to be having some cloud and cyber Q&A, but we're going to talk about some important topics that I think y'all need to hear, really just to understand and really it can help y'all just be the best y'all need to be in your career. All right, but I got a special person, CEO of Bestlink Strategies and Cyber
Ooh.
Academy. Y'all give it up for my good friend Lena Fuller. Hey, Lena, what's up?
Hello. What's up, everybody? And Broadus, thank you for having me. Excited to have this
Yeah,
conversation with you
for
and
sure.
everybody out there on wherever they're at, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You said all the
Yep,
things.
yep, yep. What's up, y'all? Put a LU in the chat if y'all can hear and see as well. I just want to make sure everything's working. But as we go on for this, supposed to be cloud and cyber Q&A. If you got any questions, post them in the chat. We'll try to answer them as well. But really, this is just a conversation that we just want to have to really focus on how to help y'all just move forward in your career. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we was trying to figure out what to talk to y'all about, just being super transparent. And one of the things we just talked about was, hey, really, how can they really be their best in standing out and going through an interviewing process and attracting people, right? Because this is the bread and butter of people, as I call it, because I'm all into business, as I call it, marketing and really generating and attracting the right type of customers for you, right?
Right.
You can build, um, you can build your product, you can build your service all day, but if no one knows who you are, it's going to be pretty hard for you to land customers or client. Let's just say a client. Now, some of you may get lucky and you have that friend like, oh, I got somebody that needs your service, or I got somebody that would love your product, girl. And they bring somebody that becomes your client. Sometimes luck happens that way.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most of us, right, we have to get out here and grind and really focus on our abilities to showcase what problems we can solve and who we are as a person. And that means creatively, how we think, who we are as far as how we think, how we really process how to solve problems.
Yeah.
So, one of the biggest things that I want to bring up is really just building a standout LinkedIn profile.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of
Imperative.
the things, no, what'd you say?
Very, very important.
Absolutely. So
Uh-huh.
one of the things I see, right, people that really hit me up in the DMs, and I get a bunch of DMs a day. I guarantee you, almost 50% of them don't even have a picture.
Yeah.
Don't, don't even have a
Seen
picture,
the same
yo.
thing. I've seen the same thing.
So
Yeah.
number
Or
one,
it's not a professional photo.
right, it's not a professional photo.
Right.
You can take a professional photo with your phone. You don't need a professional camera. You can literally just do a front facing thing and just take a professional photo. And you can use Canva to do some cropping
Yeah.
and put a nice, colorful, professional background. You see that picture? If you following me on LinkedIn, if you see my picture, that was done with Canva, like the background and everything. Like you can literally, it's no excuse for anyone not to have a picture, especially on a professional network where you're looking to learn more
Mhm.
opportunities. That's just crazy. And this actually, just that number one thing can help position you as a strong candidate for cloud or cybersecurity, whatever role you're going towards. Um,
These are
another,
things that I talk about in workshops that I do. Not to cut you off or
no, you're
anything.
good.
That's a particular segment that I spend a lot of time on with folks who are looking to transition into cybersecurity because again, they're not understanding the importance of their presence, the importance of their essential elevator pitch, that first little paragraph right there under your name and your title and things like that, like how it's got to be attention grabbing. It's got to, you know, kind of affect recruiters or people who want to look onto your page and see what you're all about, to further find out information about you. So
It's just a basic thing. Like, for instance, all right, let's just put it out this way. Let's just keep it 100. If you were on a dating app, somebody hit you up without a picture, you still gonna check out who they are?
next.
You're gonna be like, maybe, just maybe they got a good job or something. Maybe, nah, they ain't got no picture. The first thing is the physical attraction, right? You want to see. LinkedIn is just like that in your business. They want to see who they're doing business with. Like, if you are marketing your product, who is the owner of this product? Well, I want to see that person. All right. So that's number one. Number two, I see this in a lot of taglines where people will put in the headline, they will put, their certifications. They'll put, I'm aspiring cybersecurity engineer or cybersecurity analyst, aspiring cloud engineer. This is where I say you have to show them where you're going. Now, aspiring, I know that feels right. But if you're doing the work, right, and I say doing the work, not even if you're working in that role, but if you're studying, you're going home, deploying some hands-on labs, you're doing projects, you're learning how to think as a cloud engineer or a cybersecurity engineer, you're doing the work.
Right.
So I want, regardless if you are a waitress or if you're in construction or you drive Uber, I don't want to see Uber driver, because you're not trying to get another Uber role, right? Or Uber driver role. You're not trying to expand on that. I want to see where you're going. Show me who you are. Like, when you think of yourself right now and you say, when I land my cloud role, who am I going to be, or who am I? I want you to think of that person, and I want you to put that person in the headline, because at the end of the day, those are the type of jobs that's the type of clients you're going to attract.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you put forklift driver at Lowe's, which is nothing wrong with that, but if you're trying to get into cyber, well, how does attracting those technical recruiters and they see your profile as a forklift driver is going to help you land a role in cyber? They want to see who you are. Like, when you imagine yourself, this is who I'm bringing to the table. Right? And it might not be who you feel like you are right now, but in reality, this is who you need to embody to land those clients, right? Just like if you have a meeting with your client and you're going into a boardroom and you may feel like you're inadequate, you may feel like you don't know jack shit, nothing. But guess what? Before you open that door to get into that boardroom meeting, you need to become who you need to become to be able to land that deal. And this is exactly what LinkedIn is built for.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Lena?
I mean, everything you said, you literally hit the nail on the head on all of it. Because, like I said, these are things that, it's important for people to understand this, because a lot of, clients that I work with, and I'm sure that you work with too in our training programs, they're coming from a different skill set or a different job, and they haven't maybe applied to jobs in years. You know what I mean? Or had to, face, interviews and just kind of preparing themselves in that manner. And so it's like a complete foreign language or something that seems really uncomfortable out of the box. It's kind of like that addition to your cover letter and resume. It's a little bit more showcasing who you are. You know what I mean? And so there's people who do get uncomfortable, unsure of themselves on how to display themselves on a platform like that. And that's when I encourage students to utilize AI. You know what I mean? Like using ChatGPT, creating those prompts of, this is what my current role is right now. I'm looking to transition into becoming a cloud engineer. I'm looking to transition to get into cybersecurity. With what I do in these skill sets, how can that transfer over? Finding ways to kind of be able to put those blurbs on your LinkedIn. It'll help to kind of beef it up. So I mean, it's really important. And it's kind of what you and I spoke about too before we started the live, about manifestation. if you're able to, visualize who you are in that particular role, knowing that you want to get that clutter engineering role, knowing that you want to get that incident response role, who is that person, like exactly how you said, Broadus, that you're trying to be, and you write to that. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You tell that story. So I actually like that piece because I don't really say that too much to my students. And so I think that's, another great way of looking at it, when it comes to LinkedIn and how to position yourself into those roles and to be attractive, essentially to these recruiters.
Absolutely. And
So,
it's crazy that you brought that up, because for y'all, just to give you a little bit of background, we were just talking, and I said, just like, sorry if I'm saying it, she went on vacation, right? She went on
yeah.
a vacation. And before, she was always, been good about her health. But I know when she was going on vacation, she was like, I got to tighten up a little more, because I know I'm about to hit the beach with my girls and all of that. So she had to embody who she needed to become in order to step in that moment on the vacation. Whether, and y'all can agree with me, when we go on vacation, some of us either step into the moment where we got a bathing suit on, or we bought some new clothes and we like, or we step into that moment where we like, damn, like
Mhm. I'm prepared for this.
I'm prepared. Like if you have a vacation coming up, who you need to become in order to be your best version.
Right.
Right. Like, what? I got to stop eating this crap. I got what? I got 3 months left. I got 90 days left. Let me stop eating this crap. Let me get into the gym. I ain't got to kill it every day, but just moderately become who I need to become to be the best version of me in the 90 days that I got left.
Right.
This is the same thing. You this is the issue with people are transitioning, or people are even coming out of another tech role into their next step. Who you need to become. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is we lack the discipline to become it. I'm just keeping it
Oh, that's real.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
We know who we need to become. We know you may not know everything you need to do, but in your heart, like, I need to change some things.
Right. Right.
I need to change some things. And what we do is this. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm preaching real quick. What we do is this. We go and we search for 100 mentors to tell us something that's aligned with what we're comfortable with. You understand me?
Right.
God already gave you the answer of what you need to do. You sitting there praying like, God, I need this opportunity. Please, God, just send me this interview. I need these interviews. You don't know, God, I'm down on my luck right now. He already gave you the answer of what you needed to do. But instead, we go out and we search for a road or a path or someone to tell us something that we're comfortable with.
Exactly.
Then we're like, oh yeah, I could do that.
Because it's not stretching them enough out of the comfort zone to
It's
taking
not.
those next steps.
It's not.
I mean, I've met with so many students that, you know, ask many ways of how to cut corners to get into cyber. And I'm sure you experience the exact same thing, you know what I mean? Possibly. And it's, it's kind of one of those conversations you have where there's limited corners to cut when you're trying to get into a technical role. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So and just like you said, it's a matter of that discipline and knowing that, you have to take the necessary steps and actually do the hard work and the work to get to the other side, because it's not going to be handed to you. People can give you all these resources, and you have it readily available, but you have to take those next steps.
Yeah. So listen, everybody who's watching, put a hand up in the chat if you ever felt like, hey, I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. It's okay. It's okay to be honest with ourselves. I'm gonna put my hand up too, where like I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. I want everything that I want, but I don't want to stretch for it. I don't want to get out this bubble. Put
Right.
your hands up if you ever felt that way,
I
because I
know.
just want to make sure, we talking to the right audience. We talking to people who've been through this, and 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 while you raising your hand, just really ask yourself, if you were to become who you wanted to become, who you dreamed of yourself becoming, if you'd reached every goal that you set out for yourself, would everything that you have been through before matter when you reach that point? So,
Mm-mm.
so what I mean is, like, some people have different paths, some people have different links, timelines to reach their goal, right? Some
Right.
people can reach their goal in 3 months. Some people can reach their goal, it may take them 12 months. Some people, it may take 18 months.
Yeah.
But when they reach their goal, the 18 months that it took them didn't matter anymore because they were there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They stepped out
Mm-hmm.
of their comfort zone and they kept doing it for as long as it took. So
Right.
when they reached the goal, all of the things that they had to go through was like, it was worth it. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what I had to do because I'm here. But as long as we stay inside this bubble and we raising our hand, we being honest, as long as we stay inside that bubble, you'll never reach the potential that you set out for yourself to be. You'll never reach the goals that you set for yourself. That's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. Nobody set these goals for you. You set them. So we let ourselves down, right?
That's
And
so.
sorry, Lena. I'm just, I get to
That's
go
so
on.
true.
But when we set these goals up and we make an excuse of why we can't reach them and we point to
Mm-hmm.
everybody else,
Yep.
everyone else didn't set those goals. We
Right.
set.
Right.
So thank y'all for raising your hand and being honest, because we have to have those honest conversations if we're going to transcend our mind to focus on who we need to become to really just land our dream job and make our dream money.
Mm-hmm. And then that's kind of where it starts, and not to kind of hijack a piece of the conversation, but that kind of brings me to how I even got into cybersecurity. So
Mm,
my prior background was working in dental. I was a dental assistant. I was literally making probably like $15 an hour. You know what I mean? And I was the unofficial IT girl in the dental offices and such. And so that's kind of how I initially birthed my interest in tech and things of that nature. And it's like a whole nother involved story there. But long story short, I ended up setting a particular goal for myself of knowing I want to transition into this field. I did the research on what does it take to actually become a cyber analyst.
mm,
I knew I wanted to work with the government. So then I'm looking at how do I get into GovTech particularly? What are those steps into getting into that? And so I was already, without knowing, like how you were just mentioning, kind of already starting to formulate this person of who I was going to be in the future by kind of starting to look at these necessary steps. I go through college, I go through night school, I get my bachelor's in a year and a half in a cyber network security. And then here I am landing roles within DOD. And that was within a year and a half of a transition, right there.
mm.
But again, it really did start with me visualizing and knowing where I'm at right now financially is not where I want to be in the future. And I saw more for myself and for my son being a single parent. And so I knew, getting into this particular role, identifying what cyber analysts actually do. And then, of course, identifying what the salary looks like, you know what I mean? And seeing how that can make a difference in my life. And so, it was hard. There was probably many crying nights, you know what I mean, of wanting to give up, but I didn't. And that's what allowed me to get into this field, going from $15 an hour to landing in a $120,000 job. You know what I mean? And so it's seriously starts with self-manifestation, believing in yourself. Even when others don't believe what you're doing is probably crazy. Like, why are you an adult going back to school? Or why are you an adult transitioning to a different career field? You know nothing about tech. You got to really believe in yourself and like you said, visualize where you want to be and where you're going to be, so I think it's
I,
great that you actually touched on that. So
no, I mean, and
that's
number
what
one, right, I want to say this to you, and this is live, but
mm-hmm.
you're not hijacking conversations. You giving value. So don't say I don't want to hijack the conversation. You're not
Right.
hijacking the conversation. You're giving your dollars, not
Yeah.
cents. Giving your dollars, and it really is resonating with everyone, because what you saying about manifestation, people will say, and I had this happen. People will say, "Man, it ain't all about manifestation. You know where the country's at right now. You know where the economy is at right now. Cause like you seem to talk about manifestation." And this is something that I truly believe. if you truly believe it and you truly embody the person that you need to become, it doesn't matter about the climate and the economy,
Right.
because all of that won't. Yes, you would get no's, right? Some companies
Right.
tell you no. Right? Some
Right.
companies will say, "Oh, we were hiring, but we're not hiring anymore. Sorry." You know what I'm saying? You will get that. But if you keep going and keep going, the result has to be that you win.
Yeah.
Regardless, it doesn't matter how long it take you. You will win. And
Exactly.
while other people stop because, man, the economy, man, this tech is just so oversaturated, man. I'm going to insurance. While they quit, you keep chugging along, and then they ask you, how you get that? How you get that job with that salary?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Exactly.
crazy. You gonna ask me how I got the job with the salary? You really gonna ask me that?
Mhm.
Like, man. And let me ask you another question. Hands up again. Put your hands up in the chat. You know what? I don't want to call y'all out like that.
Oh,
But
come on now. You already started.
because I don't want them to feel like they're going to be exposed. But if you don't mind sharing, put your hands up in the chat right now if every day you go to a job that you don't like or a job that you want to change from. Right? Put the hands up in the chat. If you go to a job, if you have a job right now and you're not really feeling it, or
Mhm.
you want some change, it should be pretty much everybody in this chat because this is what you hear,
Right.
right?
Exactly. That's what they're here for.
So put your hands up. I want to see, because this is the thing, right? We'll go to that job or we'll wake up and go to work or go to our computers and work for that job every single day, and we're not even feeling it. We'll give that job our 8 to 5 or our 9 to 5 or whatever it is
Mhm. Mhm.
every single day. And we're like, yo, I hate this job. I can't stand it. Like, I'm stressed. They get on my nerves, but you go every single day, right? And you hate it, but you won't give yourself a 5 to 9.
Mm,
You'll use the excuse
that
"Oh,"
part.
like, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know what? Just it's I hate that, man. I hate learning. I hate doing the projects. The projects get on my nerves, man. I just did this project for 1 hour and now I'm just ready to quit altogether. But you went and gave a company 8 hours of your day and you can't
Right.
stand them and you do it every day.
Perspective.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously, that's perspective. Yeah.
And you won't give yourself the 5 to 9, right? The reason, and I'm not trying to toot our horns, the reason we are here is because we gave ourselves the 5 to 9.
We sure did.
We
And it
gave
was
up.
hard and it
Yeah,
was not easy. That's for
it's
sure.
it's not.
But
But
walking testaments of it actually happening, when you do the work.
you have to, because at the end of the day, how you going to achieve your goals? No job, no company right now is looking, and I'm just calling you out because I see your name, not because you personally, okay? It's because I see your name. No job is coming and saying, "Hey, Kendra, we've been looking for you." You
Right.
have been doing absolutely nothing but manifesting and thinking about this job, and we just caught the waves and we came to you because we knew you wanted this opportunity and you didn't do anything about it. So we had to come and make sure you do something. No, you have to embody who you need to become.
Mhm.
That is it. Um,
And if you don't know how to do it, seek the guidance. Don't
seek
just still not do something. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I think also, get people stuck from taking the next steps as well. Like you said, they could do all the research, but then feeling that fear of actually taking that step because of, them feeling like they're not adequate enough or things like that. But that's the purpose of finding someone who can mentor you to build you up into that space,
that's
So
the thing. That's the thing. Can we talk about that real quick? And I'm glad you brought that up because
yeah.
we invest in everything else. We play numbers every day.
Hmm.
You know, and we'll
Hmm.
play. Got to play my numbers. And I know that's an old fashioned thing, but there's people out there still go buy lottery tickets every single day, right?
Right.
You invest in We invest in junk food. We invest in Netflix, Hulu channels, all of that. We invest in that every single month. But
Right.
when it comes to investing in yourself, and we invest in stocks. You better go get some Bitcoin. That thing about to hit 100. You know,
Right.
we 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 invest in all these stocks and investments. We're quick to put, oh man, shoot, but I just put 5,000 in Google. But when it comes to investing in ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it stops.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that when we invest in these things, the lottery, the stocks, any
Right.
other, we don't have any control over the return on investment. So this means we're willing to give $5,000 to Google based on no control on how they perform. But here you have a stock that you can invest in, and the
Right.
our ROI
Mm-hmm.
comes from your performance. You have complete control over that. And we say, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that. And the question is like, why do we do that?
It's that like living on a hamster wheel, running on a hamster wheel kind of mindset.
Yeah, because you're not going to get anywhere,
Wow,
right?
it's constant, just repeat, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Yep. I need the information and I
Hmm.
need the help to get to the next level,
Right.
but I'm not going to invest in myself to get to the next level. So if we're looking at this standpoint of we are a business, right?
Hmm.
How many businesses do you know that really ramp up and do well without any investment? Put your put a thumbs up
Yeah,
if you can give me 5 businesses that ramped up and became strong household names and made lots of money without any investment. Put the thumbs up. I'll wait if you can name 5 companies. No investment at all. Because you can't.
right.
So if you're looking at yourself as a business and you're trying to build your product, you're trying to build your services, which is your skills and yourself, and you're trying to market yourself, how can you mentally, and maybe some of you may disagree, but how can you try to market or even think about attempting to market yourself and say, hey, give me $100,000 because these problems I can solve when you won't even invest $1,000 into learning how to solve them? But you want somebody to give you 100 times
Exactly.
that amount, or even $10,000 to invest in yourself, and you want someone to give you 10x that, and you couldn't even do it. Why you want somebody to believe in you so much to give you
Right.
100K and you don't even believe in yourself that much?
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just trying to keep it real.
You preaching to the choir.
So, you know, I want to take this time too, because I'm sorry, y'all. When I get to talking about something I'm passionate about, I talk and I apologize. So, I know y'all here to get game, and I hope I'm giving it to y'all. Hopefully that y'all getting value. I seen a question come through. Let's see.
Yeah. Check
Let's
into
see. So, Abdul Rahman,
Ab-
Abdul Rahman, sorry.
Abdullah Rahman.
Abdul, yeah. Sorry if I'm messing up your name. My apologies, brother.
That's
Not
a good question, though.
intentional.
He asked.
How can someone break through cloud with zero experience? Most entry level jobs require freshers with some weird years of experience. So,
Great question.
so this is how I look at it. Just please go with me. All right. When you're talking to a client, which is companies out here who think they know what they want, they're just really pulling from a lot of companies write their job descriptions through ChatGPT, and a lot of companies write their job descriptions through HR.
Mm-hmm.
HR goes out and find pretty much a unicorn list of things that they need, and they put it out there. But this is your job as a candidate. A lot of the times when you're trying to land a client, the client thinks they know what they need, but they really don't know until they find you. So with you understanding how to, let me wind this back. You need to understand how to look at some of the job descriptions and map about 50% of those skills and learn them, because what that'll do is get you prepared for a lot of jobs that are out there. And we've helped hundreds of people land cloud roles without any experience.
Yeah.
It's not really about you having all the experience. It's about them feeling confident in you as like, hey, if I hire this person, not only this person can get most of the job done that we want, but they have the aptitude to learn what else they need to learn to get the rest of it done.
Right.
Um, and
And
all
I think soft skills too, Broadus.
say that again.
Soft skills as well.
Yes.
I've
Uh,
seen people land entry level roles just because of their personality as well.
So
You know what I
speaking
mean?
of that, I've seen in my career, I've seen three people with no skills but pure confidence and communicate and how they communicate that they can do the job. I've seen three people get roles over people with experience and no
Mhm.
confidence or no communication skills,
Yeah.
no teamwork skills,
Yeah.
nothing.
I believe it. I've seen the exact same thing.
So if you don't mind if I call you Abdul, right? How you break in through cloud with zero experience. Some of you may follow this. You become the hottest artist on LinkedIn. And this is what I mean. You become one of the hottest people who are trying to transition into tech. Brothers, I mean, I understand, I hear you. What does that mean?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you do projects, when you build your skills, you need to be out there showcasing yourself as a subject matter expert on what you just learned.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
need to showcase how you solve problems and how you can solve problems for other companies through video. Content is key. The more they see you, the more you look like an expert, regardless if you feel like one or not.
Hmm.
The more they see you, the more you brand yourself. You just got to push yourself out there. You got to say, every time this recruiter gets on LinkedIn, they're going to see something valuable from me.
Right.
So when I hit them up, or if they have a role, I'm top of mind. Or even if I hit them up, they're like, yo, I just seen your video. That is crazy. That's how you do it.
Hmm.
Brand yourself. A lot of people are scared to do that.
Yeah.
They're in this bubble, right?
You got to
And you
break out of that shell.
break out of the shell.
Breaking out
Absolutely.
of that shell, out of that bubble.
So I'm gonna ask you this question too, Lena. Like,
Yes.
if we're talking about cloud, how does somebody with cyber really focus on getting somebody's
Into
attention?
cyber.
Yeah.
So for cybersecurity, I mean, the biggest thing for getting entry level roles in this particular line of work is actually your certifications.
Mm.
That's going to drive us into this part of the conversation. I know. For cybersecurity, you have the baseline industry recognized cert, which is held by CompTIA, and it's Security Plus. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you, possibly on this live have heard that certification. But that's kind of like your baseline, getting your foot in the door, getting an a recruiter to even send you an email, any kind of anything for you to get noticed is you need to have a viable certification. But again, this is geared more towards GovTech because that's more of my arena and where I'm at. I know commercial companies, they may have a different certification, but typically in cybersecurity, you're going to either get the Security Plus or some type of hacking certification as well. Because in cybersecurity, you may also be working on either on the offense or on the defensive side of things in networking. And so, you need to have that particular cert that's going to, lean you towards those particular roles. Another thing that I would say too, for someone that would want to get in, besides how you were just saying, like marketing yourself, positioning yourself correctly on LinkedIn, you need to practice these tools. You need to go to, if you don't want to pay for it, free resources that are out there, like the Try Hack Me or Hack the Box,
Mm-hmm.
different types of lab environments where you can practice how to triage an incident, you know, um, understanding what, the CIA triad is and what that means when it comes to like risk in an organization. So those are really the things that need to be modeled and displayed for anyone to want to reach out to a potential, cyber analyst. Because again, it's, do you have familiarity of these tools? Do you know what they're used for, and do you know how to use them? You may not need to know everything, you know what I mean? But you need to have that basic understanding of, what does this tool do? How does it work on the job? And what's the outcome?
Hmm.
So, and then again, outside of that, like I was mentioning for you, is just having those soft skills, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to work with the team. A lot of the work of what we do, we have to interface, with our stakeholders or with our counterparts, so you got to be able to just have that personality about yourself, to where, people want to work with you, and you're not just kind of in that little bubble, like how you mentioned.
Nah, no, that's absolutely true.
But it's just really practicing. It's practice, practice, practice these labs.
Yep. Practice, 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 and then work on how you communicate what you've done.
Yep.
Because the better you can communicate what you've done and how it affects any business outcomes, it could be um hold on, let's see. Somebody, I want to address this real quick because somebody sent a message. Hey, brothers, I sent you a connection a few months ago, but you don't respond to
Oh, yeah.
everything. You post on LinkedIn and invite people for the level up for mentoring. I always comment, but you never been answered. Hey, get with me, connect with me in the inbox. However, right, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't say this. This is not the live or the place to air those type of grievances, right? So if you have an issue, make sure you message me in the inbox.
All right.
And I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate you joining the live. But for that, let's keep everything to questions about cloud and cyber, and
Mhm.
how you can position yourself to go to the next level. Um, so the more you can communicate, because you may have done the scenario a few times, but if you can communicate that you understand how these tools work and how it helps with the business outcome, then you look like a person that's confident and a person that
Mhm.
can do the job. They're like, well, because you may be someone who is customer facing, whether internal or external, and they want somebody to be able to, hey, like, what's going on? And if you're the person that can really explain what's going on,
Mhm.
that is so dope for them.
Well,
And
another piece about that, when you're working in a cyber role, there is a lot of briefing when you're in, especially if you're on the gov tech side. There's a lot of
mm,
briefing to your higher ups, to your CIOs. It's not just you kind of doing the technical work. You have to be able to explain, what is going on. You have to be able to explain this particular event and why we need to triage this system off of the network, because they're gonna ask you questions.
right,
You know what I mean? So again, it's just those proper communication skills, and just being comfortable, and being comfortable in what you're doing.
yeah,
And of course that comes with experience and on the job experience and things of that nature. But you got to have that, the guts within yourself to know that you can do it.
yep,
That was one of the roles that I had to do before. And it used to scare the crap out of me for like the first month of having to brief the entire CIO at a DSS and Quantico. But I got over the fear and just realized, like, what I'm saying is important. I know what I'm talking about. I have to trust that. And from there, it just came like second nature.
and I think that's a very important thing to understand, that we're just as smart as everyone in the room. The only thing that makes them, they're not smarter than us. They have more exposure than us,
Hmm.
right? If somebody has been there working for 10 years, it's not that they're smarter than you,
Right.
because you could come in and bring some new tactics that they never even thought about, that can transcend the business to a whole new level based on the tactics that you just input into a process.
Hmm.
However, they just been exposed more than you to certain scenarios. So
Right.
they've been exposed to this scenario 3 times. Of course, they got experience because they've been through it 3 times, where you may have not never been through it. But when
Hmm.
you do it your first time, guess what? You're pretty much on the same playing field, because now you understand their process, and now you can figure out how to do it better, or what made you vulnerable, etc.
Right.
Um, I'm gonna put this question up if you don't mind. Lena.
Yeah.
This is for you. What are some common tools programs used on the defensive side of cybersecurity?
Ooh, yes. Okay, so you're looking at tools like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Nessus, Tenable, ACAS. You've heard of that tool. That's for, if not, that's for vulnerability scanning. So that's a scanning tool that we use where we have different nodes on all the systems that may touch a network. And then that particular tool scans a different range of IPs that you set. And then it's able to kind of give you that output of any kind of vulnerabilities, and it categorizes them for you for highs, lows, mediums, and criticals. And you're able to kind of, create a report and take all the data and be able to kind of disseminate that to your systems administration teams or whoever those systems are and whoever in charge of those systems for them to remediate those vulnerabilities. So that's a common tool that we use. Another one would be HBSS. That's just also another tool we use to monitor the network. People who want to be putting in thumb drives into devices where they shouldn't be, it alerts the systems for us, locks up the system, things like that. What's another one? One that I use right now on a contract that I have with the federal government. It supports the Defense Logistic Agency, where I'm a part of the Vulnerability Web Application Scanning Team. So what we do is we scan public-facing websites and internal websites to DoD. And so that particular tool is called HP Web Inspect. And so it's another scanning tool that just essentially scans the entire website. And it does a lot of different queries, and it lets us know if there's any kind of open ports on that website that are vulnerable. Lets us know, of course, if there's any other kind of criticals, highs, lows, mediums, and then we're able to report that information back to that particular program owner for them to remediate it again, and then make sure that when we scan again, it's in compliance. So those are a couple of tools that I can definitely kind of mention right now, but those are all tools that you can play with and use. ACAS, if I'm not mistaken, they have a free program where you can sign up on their website and you can scan up to 16 IPs and practice. And it kind of teaches you the entire holistic process of scanning a network, reading the data, being able to kind of do the reporting process of it as well. So it teaches you the process. So look up ACAS, Tenable.
You got that, Kim?
Practice. Hopefully that answered some of your questions.
Kim. Okay. So hopefully you wrote that down, or you can watch the recording. It's all good. So we got a few more minutes. We're going to, answer any more questions that you may have. But from this, right? I do. Before we leave off of this, we have a cloud and cyber meetup this Friday from 6 to 9 at the Best Link Strategies office in Chesapeake, Virginia. So if you're from the 757 or surrounding areas, North Carolina, Virginia, DC, Maryland, whatever, and you want to come down to this meetup, put meetup in the comments and I will send you a link to RSVP. This is going to be a great meetup where you just be able to network. If you're new to this, just really get an understanding. You could come chat with me or L and just really understand what it takes to break into this industry. And if you're trying to break into the industry, we're just going to make sure you're on the right path. Just have conversations. We're human. We're just like y'all. So don't be afraid to come and shake our hand. When you come into the event, so you might as well come up and chat, right?
Listen, closed mouths don't get fed, okay?
Absolutely. So if you're in the surrounding area or just want to come by, put the meetup in the chat or DM me meetup. I'll send you the link. I can't post links.
I want to answer that question too for you.
Hold on. Let me put this. This is from Kendra.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
To get a tech job in government, how do you come across security clearance? Do you apply for one or do you have to go through tests to get one?
Okay. Well, question I do want to know for Kendra is, are you, oh no, she's looking probably to get into the field. Okay. To get a tech job. All right. So some of the things that you want to look at are your first best shot of being able to get a clearance within GovTech is attaching yourself to a recruiter. So recruiters like companies like Tech Systems, if you've heard of that company before, Apex Systems. I don't know, broad as if there's a couple other, headhunter type like companies.
Robert Half.
Yeah, there you go. I knew there was another one. So if you find a way to kind of get in touch with those companies, or if you see roles where those companies are soliciting for a hire, you want to be able to see where it says in the description, must be able to possess a security clearance, or, the ability to obtain a security clearance. Because what that means is they're willing to take you on without having it. And then they know that you kind of have an idea that you kind of have essentially a good background and a clean record. So that way, if they were to go ahead and push you through for that role, you have more of a success of getting your clearance kind of processed more efficiently for that particular role. So you want to look for those kind of key indicators and talking to those recruiters and then asking them, do you sponsor for a clearance on this role? I mean, you need to just ask the question. Mm-hmm. So the best thing to do is to look for those roles that definitely say the ability to obtain a security clearance. Another thing that I want to mention, the beauty of you guys, just having me be on this wonderful live with you this evening, Broadus, with my company, Best Link Strategies. Since I do business with the federal government, I provide them with cybersecurity enterprise support. And so I'm constantly looking for cyber analysts and even entry-level analysts to come possibly work on some of the contracts that I have. A lot of the contracts that I do have, a lot of the contracts that I do have require you to have a security clearance. And the beauty of that is my business within my company, we have a top secret facility clearance as a company. So I have the ability to issue out clearances to individuals that I feel are viable for a particular role that I need. And I want to put in that effort for you to become, an asset to my team. So I also welcome you guys to connect with me as well, because I'm always looking for analysts depending on, what contract we have. So that's another way for you to also be able to get a clearance.
About to get flooded. Hey, but this is great opportunity that she putting out there. So if she doesn't have anybody reach out to her, then y'all not serious. Like she just literally said, I hire people level and all of that.
You didn't say it like that, Ross.
I could probably help you with that. Trying to get into cyber. Hey, look, that's right. Kim taking notes.
So let's connect. Exactly. She already got her plus. That's wonderful.
All right, so let's see. This question is, can we specialize in the cloud industry? Because most of the time it requires to master several cloud services just to apply for a junior cloud security role. What if I know what I'm going to do as a specialization, like for an XA compliance as code engineering role? Yeah, you can specialize in the cloud industry, right? You can get into a cloud role, but you say, I'm a Terraform specialist.
Yeah.
I deploy infrastructure as code, but I use Terraform. I don't use CloudFormation. I don't use ARM templates. I don't use deployment manager, still a thing with GCP. I think it's a marketplace thing, but I use Terraform. Or you can say I do threat detection for you. That's what I do, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can say I'm in compliance, right? Or you can say, I'm storage. Like you can specialize in everything. Listen, if you see that it requires you to master several cloud services to apply for a junior cloud security role, I wouldn't pay attention to that. Once again, that is the unicorn, right? If you projects, and what I mean is, I don't mean hands-on labs, right? Hands-on labs are pretty much guided, and it's there to give you a foundation of how to build things. But if you have projects where you can say, I built this thing that can help with this type of outcome in this specific use case, then that exposure equals experience. And I use these tools to do it. You see what I'm saying? So, I deployed a Terraform file that deploys a 2-tier architecture in AWS, and I use CI/CD to do it, but I use some devs or some security tools to analyze the code and the application to make sure it wasn't no vulnerabilities. And when it's deployed, I use these security tools as well to make sure we mitigate ourselves from attacks, right? So as long as you understand how that helps a business and how we can really affect the outcome of a business, helping its end users, whether it's internal or external, that is experience. Because this is one thing I found the more you practice, the more you bang your head against the wall solving problems, you're going to get into a role where somebody's been there 2 or 3 years and they know absolutely nothing about what you know. And you'll be surprised. You'll be like, hold on, like you've been here for 3 years. You haven't used such and such and such and such. I haven't used it. You're like, what? And here I am. I thought I knew nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's been already in the role. Mm-hmm. We kill ourselves from even applying to the role, not understanding. It's probably 2 or 3 people that we probably are above in technical skill set that's working in the role already. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So you can specialize in anything you want, right? My suggestion to y'all, and this is what I do pretty much every day. I go out and I find open repos of companies, like, if they are some, I don't think they have one, but maybe use cases and repos like Capital One or like these small consulting firms that
Hmm.
do, push their code to GitHub and it's open source. They'll let you pull it. I go pull it and I learn what it is their code is doing, how
Yep.
they got the package, and how it's deployed. If
Yep.
they use security tools or any tools that I never heard of, how are these tools used? And I deploy them in my own environment to see, and
Mhm.
I learn how much it costs. Guess what? How you could do that? How can you do all that, bro? This is where we got AI that can really help guide you to do that.
Exactly.
So you can learn a lot of stuff that it took somebody maybe weeks to learn. You can learn in a few hours if you just really sit down and deploy things, and you have the aptitude to bang your head against the wall and it doesn't bother you. Some people get frustrated and within an hour they're ready to quit.
Yeah.
The thing that frustrates you and the thing that makes you want to quit is actually the thing that's building you towards your journey and to being a cloud engineer. So I
Yeah.
just want you to know that. All right. So
It's great. Yeah.
any last words for people, Al? You got
I
anything?
actually had a question because I'm on my live right now.
Okay.
Someone asked a question. They said, Paradise underscore living 17 asks, is there any type of classes or certs you suggest that can help you grow in that type of industry that would make you stand out? So I can answer for the cyber side, and then you can answer for the
Yep.
cloud side. So again, like I mentioned, for cybersecurity, it's going to be your Security Plus certification that is going to be held by CompTIA. CompTIA is an industry global recognized certification. And what some people don't know either about Security Plus is when you take the Security Plus test and you pass that examination, that actually gives you technically 7 years of experience based off of the knowledge and the skill set of what you have to know to pass that test. And if anybody on this live has taken that test is not easy. It is hard. I took that test when it was version 3 and I refuse to take it ever again. It's on version 701 right now. That's how much I did not ever just want to take that test ever again. And I hear it's harder, So Security Plus would be a baseline cert. After that, I would look into Certified Ethical Hacker. That's going to be held by ECC Council. ECC Council is kind of like the industry recognized company that holds a lot of the hacking certifications. When you're looking more into getting network defender roles, when you're working in a security operations center, they have a lot of certifications that kind of govern that career path. If you go back to CompTIA, it would also be, well, it used to be called CASP Plus, but now it's called Security X. That's going to be a certification that kind of governs more towards compliance, risk management framework, understanding the process of the whole RMF cycle within categorizing systems. So that's kind of a compliance cert there for cybersecurity. And then the big daddy of all certs in cyber is the CISSP. That is a very, very difficult high level, exec level certification. But at least those baseline certs would definitely be Security Plus and your certified ethical hacking certification, which I have both of those myself. So, what's it for
So
Amazon or
So for cloud, really, it depends on the type of role you want, right? And it depends on the roles that you're looking at. Are they Azure, or are they GCP, or are they AWS, right? So what I suggest for anyone is to really get every cloud service provider has a foundational cert. So with Google Cloud is the digital cloud leader, with Azure is the AZ 900 fundamentals, and with AWS it's the AWS certified cloud practitioner. All right. Don't make the mistake of thinking because you have these certifications, you're job ready. These certifications are typically, if you're going into a technical role, it's for non-technical IT sales roles, right? So
Mhm.
you can kind of understand what is going on and what services are being used based on the keywords. So if somebody say microservices, then oh, this is that service that they may want to use, etc.
Mhm.
Now, for the next round, where you go into more associate level certs, what cloud service providers, more particularly, well, all of them, have done a good job in, specifically AWS, have done a good job in to getting you to think you got to catch them all. So, like, oh, we got to go for all the certifications because they want you to buy into their product,
Right.
buy into their environment, etc. you don't need to get all the certifications, right? You just need to focus on if it's a role that you want, what certification helps you do that role?
Yeah.
What certification helps you with the fundamentals of understanding that role, right?
Mhm.
So that's where you can look at, oh, I want to go the developer route, or, DevOps. I want to do, more architecting. That's where you can do the solutions architect. I want
Right, right.
in roles where I want to manage, monitor, deploy. I want to do all that. You can go to sysops. So it's no really wrong or right way. Just understand with cloud, the certifications don't make you the
Mhm.
specialist. So the developer doesn't make you a developer. It just gives you an understanding of the services that developers and DevOps engineers and cloud engineers use to push, test, and deploy applications through the cloud. The main thing with cloud is to, if you're going to want to do that role, is to be hands-on with that role because you need stories to tell. You know what I mean? So when you get into an interview or when you talk about it on your resume, you need the stories to tell. That's how you can really showcase your experience in using the tool. This Some companies are going to maybe hire you based on your certifications because they have a vendor partnership with that cloud service provider that states that they need to have a certain number of certified folks on their team to get those perks.
Right, right.
Just hire you and train you internally,
Mhm.
which could be a good thing for you. However, if you're going for a certification, do the certification, get the foundation, but make sure you have projects to back
Mhm.
really it. The classes, it's so many resources out here to get started. AWS have the free resources. You got YouTube. Depending on the direction you want to go, it's a lot
Mhm.
of programs out here as well that can help you. So if you need some help, you can definitely DM L or you could DM me and we'll just point you in the right direction or even see if there's a way we can help you. So I hope that answers the question on your live.
There's another one too. Someone has a question for you. They
Yep.
asked, does the certificate allow me to go into tech sale job for cloud products as a newbie?
Yeah. So I think what you have to do from there, right, is not about the cert. It's about the skills of a sales development rep
Mhm.
or account executive, right?
Yeah,
So
understanding skills.
sales, you have process. You have to understand um, how companies are getting leads, how the lead generation process happens, right? How the sales process happens, how you reconnecting with your folks to generate more in the pipeline,
Mhm.
and all of that good stuff when it comes to sales. It's not really the certification is just to get you to understand those services that vendor offers, right? But it's going to be the sales process that helps you get the job. So if you already understand sales, or if you've been into a sales role, then getting the certification and just learning a little more technical things, like just deploying just a little bit. Like I know how to build a server, I know how to do this. Understanding how that works can definitely help you get into the sales role because in sales, you may be the account executive, you may be the solutions engineer, or anyone in between that, or the technical um, solutions engineer, where you may have to get technical to work with a client to be able to close the deal
Right,
to make
right.
to know what you need to do with that particular company you're working for and just understanding their product and in the cloud space and what they're offering. I hope that answers your
No,
question.
yeah, that makes sense. That does. And Brian, Bry's Ugly Houses, I can DM you an information on a tech sales trainings. I do have a partnership with a company that does that because I personally don't do tech sales training with InvestLink,
Yeah.
but I can refer you to somebody who I know.
So it's great that you're going that route.
Mhm.
Um, but it's been an hour. We've been talking. We done took up all
I
your
like
time.
it.
Hey, don't forget Friday the
Yes,
14th.
Friday. Come
Come
hang out
out
with
to
us.
Cyber 757 meetup, 6 to 9
Yep.
p.m. If you want to join, drop meetup, the keyword meetup in my DMs and L's DMs or in the comments. We'll send you the link to RSVP and we hope to see y'all there. Just come through. Come through.
We're gonna
Don't
give
worry
so
about
much
the
information. You don't want to really want to miss it.
yeah, absolutely.
So
So
much
if
information.
you worried about the dress code, just come dressed as you are. Like it's cool. I might be in some sneakers or something. You never know.
Come
So
Well, and
Yep.
ready to mix and mingle.
Yep. Absolutely. But Elle, I appreciate you joining me on this
Thank
live.
you. I had a
Thank
good
you so much.
time.
Yeah, yeah, we should
More
do
of what
this.
we're talking about, people need to hear this.
Yeah, for sure. Especially I think people got a lot more interest in cyber as well, and they're gonna need to hear more about what you're seeing, what you're
Yeah.
experiencing. So maybe we can do this more often, um, and
To
bring
make a party.
yeah, yeah. So but we'll talk more about that, and I appreciate everybody coming to this Q&A. Share this out for people who need to see it, and we hope to hold on. Somebody said, I want to see your DM, but there's a message I sent before and I can't send it again. I'll take a look. I'll look out for it and see if I can find it, Abdul. All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
brothers and Lena, for the Q&A for Cloud. And so, hey,
Thanks,
appreciate you,
everybody.
Sean. Yep. Share, 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 share to your people. But until then, until we see y'all Friday, keep leveling up.
Exactly.
Keep bringing those questions about cloud and cyber. Keep doing the things you need to do to embody the person you need to become so you can be successful. All right. So until then, love y'all. See y'all later.
Bye.
We out.
Thank you.